Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning, ma'am.
Before we start our class today, please pray basmalah together. Alhamdulillah, I hope you all great today. Alright, how's your day everyone? How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, fine, ma'am.
On this sunny morning, I hope you all are given health, confidence to study today. Stay healthy and keep your distance and wear masks, even though the Ministry of Health has allowed to remove our masks. Okay?
Alright, ma'am. Okay.
Do you know what we will learn today?
No, ma'am.
Let's talk about our new materials. Do you know what things in the ice cream packaging?
Dragon Ball image, ma'am. Product name, ma'am. Expiry date, ma'am.
Alright, products name, ingredients, nutrition, halal label, production date, encoder, expiry date. What else? Okay, which one of you likes to cook?
Ma'am, I love to cook.
If you cook, of course you need a recipe, right? Have you ever cooked based on an English recipe?
I cook noodle, ma'am, and also cook fried chicken.
In English, recipes are included in a type of text called procedure text. Wow, what was that? Let's learn together. So, today I will explain about procedure text material in more depth. Yes, are you ready to receive the material? Procedure text. Procedure text is a text that explains, informs, or helps reader on how to make or use something. Usually, this type of text begins with the sentence "how to." For example, how to make a banana crispy, how to operate the mobile phone. Procedure text is found in many cookbooks and manuals. When we buy new handphone, we will find manual books. How to operate the mobile phone in this manual book. Okay, the purpose of procedure text. The purpose of procedure text is to show or to explain how something is made, used, or done through the sequence steps. More detail to explain how something is made, done, or used through successive steps. What do you think about the aspect contained in the procedure text? First is structure of procedure text. The structure of procedure text consists of three parts. You know? What are the parts of structure of procedure text? There are goals, materials, and steps. Aim or goals. Well, the first part in writing procedure text is aim, which means goals. Usually, this purpose lies in the title indicating the purpose of the text. For example, how to make dalgona coffee, how to use printers, and how to combine tea and coffee. And second is ingredients or materials. In the second part are required to write down the ingredients. Writing these ingredients is useful for explaining what materials or tools are used to make something. In the procedure text, writing these ingredients is useful for explaining what materials or tools are used to make something in the procedure text. For example, the ingredients to make dalgona coffee are coffee and sugar. We also need a spoon and warm water. Another example is the ingredients to make omelette are eggs and noodle. We also need plate and frying pan. And the last of the structure of procedure text is steps or methods. Steps or methods. This section contains the steps taken to achieve the goals of the procedure text. For example, first was the tomatoes. And then we're going to talk about language feature of procedure text. After knowing the aspect contained in procedure text, now let's learn about the rules of language. What are the linguistic rules of procedure text? Let's discuss it. First is simple present tense. Procedure text must be written using the simple present tense. Yep, this is because in procedure text there are fixed sentences about how to make or do something. What are imperative sentences? In procedure text, imperative sentences are always preceded by verb 1 from action verb or verb that involve cycle activities. So we don't need to use the subject at the beginning of the sentence. For example, add 3 onions and make it well. The sentence begins with verb 1, add. There is no subject at the beginning of the sentences. The third is connectives. Connectives are used in a procedure text to connect the steps in it so that the list of instruction made is coherent and easy to understand. For example, firstly, put the bananas on the pans. Secondly, make the banana and flour. And then, after that, finally, and so on. The last is adverb. Adverbs are used to give an adverb of time. There are 2 types of adverb used in procedure text, namely adverb of time that indicated how long we have to do something. Example, fry the banana in 10 minutes. Fry the banana in 1 hour. And then adverb of manners or description of how to do something. For example, mix the banana slowly. From the explanation, procedure text is text that contains steps or how to use or make a product. Procedure text is also called instruction text. Procedure text can be written in the form of paragraphs or in the form of sentences that are written in coherent manner to explain the steps or how to use or manufacture content. There is some simple example of procedure text in our daily life. First is direction. How to get somewhere, the written instruction must be very specific, including the name and title of the location. Formal language and the addition of map image can make direction easier to understand. And the second is instruction. Instruction means showing how to do something. It's actually similar to a recipe. The language used must of course be adapted to the reader. And then cooking recipe. Recipes contains how to cook something. Recipes are one of the universal text, material and tool as well as visual are of course very important to be embedded in recipes. And then game instruction. You must have both a toy and there are instructions on how to play it. Game guide text usually use a language style that is easy to understand. And then manuals book. Manuals book are usually obtained after buying electronic and even vehicle. Contains how to operate the item. Wording that must be known. The manual should be written as specifically as possible. And the last is agenda. An agenda is usually created when you want to hold an event. Birthday party, wedding, holidays, and other usually contains what activities will be carried out and when.
So student, this is your assignment. Please make a simple example of procedure text and make sure you use structure and language feature ya. Using Canva for editing and using animation please for more points for high score. The deadline will be next week.
So student, I think that's all of my explanation about procedure text. And the last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you and have a nice day.